This year will be different, I tell myself. I won't allow it to consume me. But as October inches closer, that old familiar feeling starts to creep in. It's all I can think about. The prep work keeps my mind busy. The anticipation burns hot. Adventure and freedom is my path to enlightenment and fulfillment. This year I would push myself out of my comfort zone, exploring new terrains, along with a few old familiar spots as well. It never seems real looking back on the season, more like a dream. The highs and lows, sunsets and sunrises, the heart-pounding, close encounters. Was it just a dream? Or the only time I'm ever truly awake? This is my story. This is my season. It's time yet again to go the extra mile.
I doubt I'll need this tonight, but oh well. Gotta get this guy out. Too many lunges. Just got all set up and realized that I went to go grab my pocket arm and I didn't bring it, so. In this green field. Pretty awesome.
They always look so much bigger when they're walking away. While not exactly the big boy that I was in there after, it felt good to finally have a hunt come together for me. I was fired up heading into the end of October.
Farmer's combine way over there. sequence, they're going to want to come in. Hopefully want to circle downwind up through this ditch. If they go the other way, I'm screwed. But I think if they come up in here, they're going to at least come straight to it because we're kind of close to the edge of that other kind of habitat. I don't know what it is, but hopefully they're going to circle up through the ditch and I'm going to shoot them while their attention's on him. I had some deer snort when I came in here, and I don't know how. They were over the other hill. There's a buck over. There was a small buck over there working a scrape. So I know I didn't scare every deer in the county out of here. Gotta find the hole. There's a big buck right there.
A nice 2-year-old buck runs up and stands out at 60 yards to my right, staring at the decoy. This wary old buck was too smart for the decoy. He heads for higher elevation, using the strong thermal pull from the sunny morning to his advantage. Once on top of the hill, he stands there for 15 minutes scanning over the valley, where he eventually retreats back to his bedding area. That afternoon, I finally got the right wind to go in after a big 12-pointer that lived in a hub system.
This is the crap I have to crawl through.
He had been daylighting regularly on my camera over the hub scrape. The big 12 drops down out of his bed grunting and hits the creek just beyond the brush and hangs out there until dark.
wasn't the cleanest getting in here, but I don't think we busted anything out, or at least I didn't hear anything snort. It's supposed to be going that way. It's wind. Let's see. Thermal's going down right now. I tried staying at the mouth of this little hub right here so that the wind would suck out of it.
This was a first-time sit, based on a hub scrape I had found back in the summer. I hung a cell camera over it and waited till I was getting daylight activity, then moved in for the kill.
There's another scrape over there, I just realized too. That buck's not dead. Unless I hit the artery up high. Shit. That deer's not dead. Damn it. After watching back the footage, I really don't think it's a fatal hit at all. He ducked. I hit back. It was gonna hit high anyway. And he ducked that much. I would have hit top of the guts if I would have hit top of the stomach if he hadn't have ducked the string, but he was on edge. I think he heard me draw or something. So he had his head up, which is when you want to shoot them. You don't want to shoot them with their head down, but because then they'll jump the string and go worse. grid searched the hell out of all of the bedding. Couple hours, covered in burrs, went everywhere, screwed this whole place up, I'm sure, but I had to see if he was dead, and he's not dead. Didn't find a speck of blood, didn't find any sign of him, so he ran back to cover somewhere with an arrow in him. It sucks, but I gave him a couple hours just in case. Well, about an hour and a half actually is what it was. I waited because I knew it was a really marginal hit, but I just know I have to work on my nerves because I was overly excited. He came in and did just what he was supposed to do, and I drew back once, let down, drew back again, and when I draw for too long, when I hold my draw for too long, my brain starts getting overly anxious, overly excited, thinking he's gonna run. And I drew when he was behind that tree with his head, or his head was behind the tree, thinking he would just keep walking, but he didn't. He stopped. So I don't know if he heard me draw or what, but screwed it up. Back to the drawing board. It's about 6:50. Deer are moving on my cams in totally different parks, but not here. It's pouring like hard. Trying to get to the hunting spot. Caught me going a little too fast, but gotta watch out. Don't be speeding. That was my fault. Just getting in at gray light. Woke up a little late, but this is perfect. So I can see what I'm doing without using a light. It's too calm and still. They can hear you for hundreds of yards away. Those are fresh, like yesterday, last night, or this morning. It's a beautiful November 8th morning, calm, crisp, and I spooked something from right in here when I got in here, which I kind of felt like I had a chance of doing. It's tore up top with rubs and scrapes. I mean, fresh stuff up there. Doesn't seem like anybody's been in here, or at least very little pressure. I killed a big buck in here, 2019. My public land redemption buck was right here. I've hunted it a few times since and had some good midday cruising action. I missed a nice 3-year-old right down here that I called off of the top of this hill. They were cruising this hilltop a lot. That big buck came down this ditch right here and then was cruising the edge of this little thicket right here. He was going on the center of the hill, but most of these bucks go up, do a loop around the doe bedding, and then come back. So I'm trying to hit the ditch here, and if something comes in front of me and I don't feel as though I can shoot it, I can get up on my seat of my .5 and shoot down into it. So my wife made me shave my trash stash. My wife and my oldest daughter said that it was a no-go. So I'm a freshly shaven public land deer hunter today, and I feel like a new man. So they said that it wasn't working, and that's why I wasn't killing big bucks. So I said, all right, let's give her a shot. Something big snorting over there, but my wind is going the opposite way. The thermals would be carrying it down, and he's way over there in the other bottom, so there's got to be somebody else hunting over there, and it's sucking down. They've got to be hunting the wrong wind for that bottom scrape over there. Just saw my first deer on the other ridge. This spot always gets hot midday. I think it was a doe or a young buck, but it was a big body deer, so I think it was a doe. She had some weird growth on her, like a big pus ball or something. So it'd be nice to see a big old magnum right behind her, and then her come this way. There comes a time in every all-day sit where you start hallucinating and thinking that you're seeing and hearing deer that aren't there. And then when one finally does show up, it freaks you out. I just heard a grunt up there and then some commotion down there. I'm not sure what's going on. I just heart shot him, bro. I killed the other one at 12:35 right there. 3 minutes apart, he come through. I set the top of this hill because last time I was hunting it, they were cruising the top of this ridge. I look over and there's a giant. I hear some steps. Yeah! Oh, I'm pumped, baby. He's dead. I'm about to get down and go look at him. Oh my God. Yes! Yes! Oh, I can't wait to go look at this deer. touch him. He come right here and looked the opposite way like it was meant for me to draw right here. And I couldn't shoot through that stuff. And I learned my lesson this year on trying to weave it through some stuff. So I waited. Sure enough, he got to this opening. And there's the arrow right there. Look at that. Oh yeah. We already know he's down. I watched him drop. Wow. Dug in. I want to show you guys. That is covered. And that arrow went all the way through him and dug in. Just like that. Hell yeah. We're going to come back and get a picture of that. Heart shot him. Look at that. Blood instantly. I mean, instantly. Shoot. Right here at the hit, there was blood. Look at that. Just the whole way. Wow. He never stood a chance. This guy didn't. Holy hell. There's blood everywhere. I think he went up on that other trail here, but that deer is massive. Where did he drop? There, no. See, I swear I watched him fall right over in here. There it is. There's a bunch of blood right there. Okay. I was like, where the heck did he go? Oh, there he is. There he is. I thought he dropped in that ditch. When he turned and all I saw was that big old frame, I knew I was shooting him, so. Look at that thing, opened him up, man. Oh, shot him right there. And this is the tree stand set up because when I shot the redemption buck, that other buck come down this ditch and was going down over in there. But so I wanted to be able to shoot this ditch, but I also wanted to be able to shoot the top of this ridge because a lot of the times they'll come into this doe bedding area, make a figure 8, and then come back out. And that big old buck from the public land redemption buck went down there, and that way he used that saddle up there to cover some more ground, scent checking that bedding area with the north wind, and then hooking back around and going up over that way. So I was giving up that side in hopes that I could shoot this ditch and this top right here. So I've never killed one from a sycamore that I can remember. So, and the Osseo camo blended in really well with it. So check it out. 2 sticks with 2-step 8ers high, and got right up there to where the branches start coming out. And but I knew if I was on this side, I was worried because I knew once the sun got midday it was going to be over there, but there was no other way with all those branches and where I could shoot everywhere I needed to shoot. So I scared something down in here when I came in, but then I heard a bunch of snorting in different places, but none of them were downwind at me. So it must have been other hunters that weren't playing the wind right in their locations, or that were coming in late or something like that and pushing deer. But I knew that about midday, this always gets hot. So within 3 minutes of when I killed my buck in 2019 in the same spot, only they come from different ways, but always gets hot from 10 to 2 in here during this time frame. is that? Trying to take my setup down. That 10-pointer comes up. I think mine's bigger framed. Probably similar scoring because he's got a few extra points, but that's pretty awesome. November 8th, gotta love it. He jumped away a little bit, didn't know what I was, and then just kept on cruising. He's probably gonna cruise that doe bedding area. See, I could have shot, and case in point, I could have shot that ditch and this high side. Like I said, I gave up the low side of this thicket here. I hear another one. Had that buck come by, now I have another buck sitting over here, and it sounds like there's a buck down in the drainage here. Hopefully it's not a Magnum. I will kick myself if I shot 140-inch 8 in it. Booner comes by because there's a hot doe in here. That little one is up there. He's got to see that dead buck right there where I pulled him out, and he's probably wondering what the hell's going on.
There's just no better feeling when you've been struggling, trying to get it done, and finally, it all turns around for you. So I have had the season from hell, and this is a testament to sticking it out and never quitting. I slept in this morning. No part of me wanted to get out of bed, but I did it anyway, and I'm glad I did, because now look what I'm holding. And I just want to say thanks to Andre and the guys at Lone Wolf Custom Gear for making some top-notch quality hunting products that help me get this stuff done, and have been for over 2 decades now. So man, I am just appreciative, out of breath, and don't know what to say. And what a cool hunt, sitting up in there to go get my stand down, and 2 more bucks come in here. I could have shot the one, he was a 10-pointer, probably similar to this one, maybe just a little bit smaller frame, but what an absolute awesome day. And this is the public land redemption spot from 2019. Within 5 minutes, I shot him from 5 years ago in almost the same spot. So pretty cool, and what an awesome morning / afternoon in the Whitetail woods. Hunt like a wolf, good sits, and that's what it's all about, baby. We're bringing him home, honey. Kiddos, can't wait to show him off to you.
You want to touch it?
Alright, it's November 13th, I think. Feeling like absolute dog doo-doo. Got home from a long hunt yesterday in the wind. Already wasn't feeling good. I think I overdid it, made myself feel worse, so boo-hoo me. No big deal. We're going after it anyway. But I got home last night, about to jump in the shower, get a call from my sister that my dad was in the hospital. So jumped in the shower, ran up to the hospital, sat there for hours, and got home. By the time I got to bed, it was 10 o'clock or more, and tried getting up this morning, and even at 4 o'clock I couldn't get up. So well, decided to pull an audible, and instead of going to the spot that I knew, I said, well, you got to push yourself. So I'm going to a place that I've never been in. It's a piece that I've been hunting, and I know there's big deer not too far from here, but I'm going to this place, and I'm going in totally blind, basically. I'm gonna go along the edge of it and see if there's a place to set up, because it's the closest spot to where I saw that big buck, that like 170 typical, and there's other big bucks running over in that, but I can't hunt it. So this is the closest spot that you can get to it. So at least I feel like I have more of a shot than the other place. The other place was like 0.85 miles away, which for a cruising buck, It's not crazy, but I don't know. I can't sit in the same flat spot where I've only seen a doe and a spike buck again. And I have no intel on whether or not big bucks cruise through there, even though it seems like a spot they would. So I'm not very far from the truck at all. I'm literally, the truck's over there, like maybe 100 yards. There's the entrance path, and you come off of it, and there's scrape, 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 big scrape, big scrape, scrape, scrape. There's more scrapes over here. Like, I'm not seeing any giant prints yet, but it's kind of crazy that there's this much sign right here. I mean, it's not crazy, but I kind of half-ass expected to find a tree stand right in here. But everybody goes deep, I have a feeling. Let's go find out if there's a big boy in here or not. Some of these are running on top of each other here. That's a decent one. Of course, it's in the sand running, so it's going to be a little bit bigger. Well, I just hit human boot tracks right there for the first time. Also just hit a scrape with some big tracks in it. So that one definitely looks like it could be a mature buck. All right, I just got back to near the truck on the other side of this path, and good rub. Oh, can you see it? It don't matter. Here's a fresher one right here. Decent. And I'm sneaking through here thinking I'm being sneaky, and just did a big loop because I'm looking for this big deer that I call Big Lou. Did a loop, found a bunch of small sign, found people sign, wasn't real impressed, was heading back to the truck, started seeing big sign, and it was coming from where Big Lou lives, but I wasn't real sure if I was even gonna bump into anything really big. And then I hear a whistle, and then I meet Mr. Mercer here, and guess what? Big Lou was just 70, 80 yards from me and 40 yards from him, and now he has to go home. So he was creeping up on him. He's got his stand in there, and look at all the fresh sign. Scrape, scrape, scrape. And what do you say, man?
Long week, I'll tell you that.
And come to find out, he's bought some mounts before, so pretty awesome.
Great product.
Yeah, so I'd be just as happy as somebody that bought some good sit mounts killed him, but this guy was thinking like me and hunting right by the road. So, and guess where he was at?
You hit that shit this morning.
Dude, that's crazy. I was trying to find his ass, and here he is.
Yeah. So if you walk straight back here,
Mm-hmm.
literally from this tree,
Mm-hmm.
they were laying right off that point.
Damn. He's got the Ranger, and he's got the Lone Wolf custom gear. Is that a 1.0 or 0.75?
1.0.
Yeah.
I got
And
0.5.
look at that, rocking the doubles with the daisies, just like me. Got a little bit nicer bow setup though. Yeah. Oh, you got the mesh seat. Look at that.
Dude, that thing's...
That's tits, man. Hell yeah. So I'm here, Illinois public land, hanging out with the enemy, swapping stories, and as if we don't have enough Michigan people here, they're coming in, they're shooting all of our booners right there. And but no, I appreciate these guys. They've been nothing but awesome, and they went out of their way to try to help me out on this big deer because they're leaving. And if I shoot them, it's going to be in a large part because of these guys. So I appreciate it.
These guys told me that they're running as close to the edge of this river as possible. So, get over here, and sure enough, just got snorted at.
Well, it happened. I was set up, started raining like half an hour before dark, and I figured, all right, he's probably not showing up. It's getting dark quick. I start tearing down my setup, looking at where I'm going to set up for tomorrow morning. And when I tear my stuff down, I mean, it was like the last 15 minutes of legal, so it was starting to get somewhat dark. And I don't use my headlamp. I make sure I stay super quiet when I'm tearing down. And I get all the way down to the base of the tree. I have all of my stuff completely packed up, and I look up, and at 10 yards is the mega that I'm hunting, and he is a monster, 180, just perfectly walking at 10 yards, still shooting light. If I'd have been set up, I could have shot this deer. My bow is sitting there with the sling on, my release on the bow, my sight cover, everything's sitting there like 4 feet away. He stops, he's messing around, and he looks up at me, and he's sitting there doing the thing where they do this, and I stay totally still. And he did it for a little while, and then finally he went back to what he was doing. Giant rack just sitting there 10 yards. Finally he gets about 20-30 yards away behind a tree. I grab my stuff, put it together, get everything on, get pulled back. I think I put my 40-yard pin on him, and it sailed just over his back, and he jolted off. He didn't snort. I think he ran over, stopped, and kept walking. I think he just didn't know what happened. And the light shooting the other way, I think, kind of probably confused him as to what was going on. So anyway, it worked. I just didn't. So yeah, hopefully in the morning we see him again.
Still haven't seen a deer. I'm over 20 hours without seeing a deer. In the rut. Missed a booner. Haven't seen a deer since. This'll be my last sit here if I don't see a deer.
As quickly as he had come into my life, he vanished. I spent the next month searching every single possible place that I thought that he could be hiding. They say you define a man by his failures, not his success. I walked a very thin line between dedication and stupidity. Like a madman, he pushed forward. I tried to shake it off, but there was no denying it had gotten to me. I knew every rub, bed, and track that he had made within a mile radius. I learned more in a month than I had in a lifetime about him. While some deer are here to feed us, others are simply here to teach us, to help us grow along the way. I'll forever carry the memories and lessons learned. As days turned into weeks, I gained a new respect for the buck, the terrain he inhabited, and myself. The fire for next year had already been ignited. Getting to help my buddy Dan haul out his first traditional archery kill was probably the highlight of my season. And it forced me to refocus on what really matters. The friendships and relationships forged in blood along our journey. My buddy Cody Hoon had graciously agreed to come down and film me during the late season hunt. We had a lot of highs and lows, close calls, crazy misadventures with ice, but ultimately ended up going home empty-handed. That is, unless, of course, you don't measure your success in inches of antler, but rather sunsets and sunrises etched into your soul.
I've got a couple of fields over here. First, I had a couple of does over on this left field, and now they're starting to pour out of this point, which it's always crazy to me how pressure will make them jump around from one year to the next, because Usually somebody hunts that point, but I bet you since there's pressure over here in this corner, I bet you they've altered it to coming out of that bedding area over there. One of those deer is a shooter. I didn't think he was, but he's out past his ears.
As I drove away from the parking lot that night, 10 does and a big 10-pointer ran across the road in front of me in the headlights. I knew when I got the next north wind, I'd be back in there.
Look at all these big tracks, fresh too. Well, I shouldn't say fresh, but definitely big. Some of them are fresh, but I'm hoping that all of the deer are gonna pile out from this. I'm hoping the buck is back in there and all the does are gonna pile out, mostly around here. So I'm all set up and I got in seemingly clean. I'm crunching these branches as much as I can in this little circle right here, so that when the moment of truth comes, if I have to move around, I'm not gonna get caught. But I'm not completely removing all the debris because this grass is keeping my feet insulated. So I've kind of created my own little deer bed in here. I'm not gonna knock over any real shooting lanes. I'm just going to, if something comes through, I'm gonna pop up and try and shoot over it the best I can, because I'm gonna have a lot of eyes on me when this starts going down. I'm gonna have like 10 deer at least around me before that buck is around me, and I may have them right behind me here in this little spot too. First deer on the field, and it's a small buck. If they all come out like that and come over into here, that would be perfect. But I have a feeling that the big boy's gonna come out of the corner. There's a young doe in the corner of this field. I had to duck down because she was looking over here, but then she went back to eating. The wind is perfect. They're coming out on time. Let's hope Mr. Big's with them tonight. I screwed that one up. Damn it. Will you stop it, bro? shot past 40 on a deer on a field, because you never know how they're going to react. The arrow was actually right on the money, but he turned, and he had enough time to react. There's still deer out on the field, on the corners of the field. I don't know if they'll make their way back out here in legal.
To my surprise, the big 9 that I was originally in there after shows up. He stays out at 90 yards, feeds out of range until dark.
Swing and a miss. Swing and a miss. At least I found my arrow, though. Man, there was a bigger buck that came out after I missed that one buck. That was crazy. There was another buck out by me, too. Probably a 9-pointer in the 140s, and I missed a 10-pointer in the 30s, so that's how she goes.
After a long, successful evening of glassing fields looking for a target buck, I get a text on the way home from a young man named Colton, who I'd given tips to a couple days before on how to target late-season bucks.
Yep.
There he is, the man, the myth.
I don't know about that. Very, very fortunate on this cold.
Hold this big fella up, man.
I got very fortunate tonight. Came out about 250, worked like a half moon.
Getting to share in Colton's victory relit the fire that had dwindled over a long, arduous season.
Was tagged out this year in Illinois on public land. What a great year for me.
I came in here today looking for this shed, and I can't believe I just found it. It's Big Lou's left side. I'm gonna go in here and see if I can find his other side. I know he dropped one, and then I had him on camera, still holding, going across the road here, so look at this. I don't know if that's him or not, but it looks like him. Yeah, that's Lou right there, buddy. Look at that. I don't even... That's what's up, boys. Found the shed I was in here looking for. And I'm gonna have to go back through and look at my trail cam pic and see if this is the other side or not. Because if so, they're both probably gonna be in here if I had to guess. Hell yeah. This is awesome, man. I can't wait to chase this deer this fall. I'm so excited, man.
We played for blood, and now it's over. Time to lick your wounds, boys. Next year starts right now.